Aston Villa's new First Division programme had begun with a home draw against Millwall. Then, in early September, it was down to Highbury. Arsenal, one of the favourites for the Championship, had begun their season with a 5-1 win at Wimbledon. This was their first home game. And over 37,000 were here to see how they coped with Villa.
O'Leary, who missed the opening match at Wimbledon through injury and then came back in to play at QPR, another away victory in midweek. Now Michael Thomas, not one of his better crosses, but Marwood has retrieved it well and given Thomas another go. That one's blocked as well. Well in by Rocastle, and now Marwood. Stuart Gray, the Villa number 11. Well, Arsenal are fighting for everything. Rocastle and Thomas and Marwood, and Spink has to beat it away. Well, exciting little flurry of action down at the North Bank end, as much as anything because of the fact that Arsenal just refused to allow Villa to get the ball away. It's Keown up with the header away. Here's McInally. Bringing it down and going away from Thomas. And off he goes. Tripped fairly blatantly by Michael Thomas, which will merit a word with the referee, and it appears a yellow card, despite David Rocastle's protests. First booking of the season at Highbury. Thomas. Sort of foul which referees don't like to see, with the player heading for goal being rather cynically brought down. Now then, Andy Gray, number 4. Gordon Cowans, number 10, who we haven't mentioned yet, back of course from Bari in Italy to his old club. Thinking about what they might do with this one. Gray, well blocked by the wall, well away. As far as Steve Sims. A little bit of argy-bargy, as the rugby league commentators say. Brian Marwood having his say. Theo Foley on the bench. George Graham, the manager, as usual, watching the game from higher up in the stand. We can expect to see him down on the touchline later in the game. Winterburn arriving to knock it back over the top. Allowed to run on towards Marwood, and Smith is in there and hacked away by Sims. Villa were struggling to get that one away for a long time. Gordon Cowans eventually hacked it out, and it'll soon go back in. Winterburn and Merson, and Keown gets his foot in. Chris Price sent down the right, and that's a Villa corner. Whatever Lee Dixon may have to say about it. And the big men arrive from the back, waiting at the far side of the goal area for Andy Gray's kick. Didn't really find any of them at all. It went much too far and too long, and Rocastle is able to bring it away. Find Marwood, with Merson going down the outside. Marwood goes on his own, and Spink has to come first with the fist and then the foot. Now Marwood. More shouts for handball from those down at that end, a little closer to the action than us. Well played by David Rocastle, and inside to Merson. Rocastle to chip it in. Oh, just beyond everybody. And a nice one up the line for Daly to chase. Winterburn with him. Oh, and he's got the legs of Winterburn, who almost brought him down. And McInally has made it. Daly got away. it looked as if he might well get a penalty as Winterburn went in to challenge him, but McAnally was waiting in the centre, the big number 9, to slide it in and to take the applause. Fine ball up the line by Gordon Cowans. We hadn't seen too much of him, but look at that for a weighted pass along the touchline. Nigel Winterburn first tries the arm off, and now in danger of clipping Tony Daly's heels, but Daly keeps his head, keeps his feet, and McAnally puts it away. 29 minutes, Arsenal 0, Villa 1. And the team with the best away record in the Football League last season have made a splendid start to their away season in the First Division, and here they are again with Price, again clearly brought down by Michael Thomas. So a shot on the break for those supporters. Meanwhile, away to our right, the Villa celebrating. Free kick for Cowans, and Gray, Stuart Gray in the end, whose shot eventually reached John Lukic. So first real setback this season for the Gunners. Conceded an early goal at Wimbledon, but came back very quickly to score 5. Had things very much their own way in the Wembley friendlies, and saw off QPR in midweek, but this is something different. A foul by the sweeper Alan Evans, giving them a chance to pull something back. Davis and Thomas on the ball, Spink directing operations, gives the thumbs up to the wall in front of him. Now Alan Smith is trying to infiltrate it. Now what have we got? Marwood and Davis waiting behind the kick. Winterburn just to the left. Paul Davis. Oh! He's going the right way. But Spink able to get down. So Graham Taylor in the centre with the specs on, delighted with that start. See the slight new look at the clock end with the pillars behind there. They'll be supporting the new executive boxes there when they're finished. An ironic applause as Arsenal finally get a free kick, quickly taken out to David Rocastle. Rocastle's long cross towards Smith. It's McAnally, the goal scorer, who's back there to help Villa cling on to the goal which he's given them, and to hook it away down the line. Crowd urging Nigel Winterburn to get on with it because they know half-time is imminent. He's got another throw-in out of it. Long one towards Alan Smith that time, and that's a corner off Steve Sims' head. Ryan Marwood at least showing some sense of urgency. David O'Leary goes up for it on the near post just behind Smith. Paul Davis waiting for the knockdowns, but well up by Keown. He it was who got it away, and that preserves Aston Villa's first half lead in their first away game back in the First Division. That break down the right-hand side, led by Daly, finished by McAnally, and those supporters will enjoy their half-time rather more than Arsenal's. It's a rather loose one, which Davis can take advantage of. Nicely played out to Brian Marwood. Nodded back, Winterburn as ever in support. Low cross, oh Smith, and that's a fine save by Spink. Didn't have much time at all to react to it, and defenders Keown and Gordon Cowans there appreciative of their goalkeeper's efforts, because this looked a goal as Alan Smith met it from Winterburn's cross. Left foot, not at the best possible angle, but he hit it in the right place. Spink gets them going quickly again with a throw out to Price. And here's Daly, and who made that first goal O'Leary nods that one out. Gray, and appeal for offside, and I don't think it's been given. But the goal has. McInally has got a second. And Arsenal are furious. Furious at the moment with the linesman, I think, but they might be more upset with themselves later. We can have another look as David O'Leary nods it out. Andy Gray it is who drives it back in. Dixon and O'Leary immediately appeal for offside, but McInally finishes beautifully. O'Leary away with that one. Here come Villa again. Platt gets a foot in and Platt is clear. Platt goes around Tony Adams as well, and Adams does well to get a foot in. Well, I don't think the home crowd are enjoying this very much at the moment. Villa threatening a third as Brian Marwood breaks away at the other end. Smith a little nod down, Merson half a chance, and Marwood arrives. And Brian Marwood has done it. Just what they needed. A riposte within, 7 minutes of Villa's second goal. Looked for a moment as if it wasn't going to break for them as Marwood, starting the move himself, chipped this one in. The idea was for Alan Smith to nod it down towards Merson. Couldn't quite hold off his man because Keown got a foot in there, but Marwood arrived, reacted quicker than anybody else, and banged in a very valuable goal. No thought of substitutions at the moment as the Gunners come forward yet again. Winterburn to chip this one in. Paul Merson, who's pulled away to this side, and Smith, oh, he's made it! Alan Smith, the header on the near post. And only 4 minutes after Marwood's goal, Arsenal have drawn level. Lovely effort from Paul Merson, giving those young supporters something to celebrate. It was Merson pulling wide, first of all trying to get on the end of this run from Nigel Winterburn, allowed it to run. He didn't have much room to play with there, did he? But look at that for a cross under pressure. And Alan Smith completely defeating Steve Sims, the number 3, and then goalkeeper Spink with his header. Well, only an hour played, 4 goals in the first league game at Highbury, and the prospect of more to come as Arsenal break forward again. And that has got the crowd going. You're not singing anymore, the taunt to the Aston Villa supporters, who must have been struck down by those 2 blows from Brian Marwood and Alan Smith. But they're not just going to sit back in defence, I wouldn't think. Here they are straight away on the edge of the Arsenal area, although Arsenal trying to draw the attention of the linesman to the referee. They thought he was flagging the other way, I think. David O'Leary making his point a little forcibly. Given that this is a referee who obviously doesn't tolerate verbal dissent. And they won't be at all pleased if Villa should pinch another goal here. Having complained to the linesman, I think they felt the linesman had his flag up and then put it down. This is Andy Gray just outside the box. Storm of booing still round the ground as he prepares to take the kick. Andy Gray to hit. Oh, that's a magnificent goal by Andy Gray. And Arsenal players and supporters alike are very upset by that because they were convinced the free kick should have gone their way. But just look at this before we consider the arguments for a strike. Magnificently struck into the far corner. A few spectators around the ground giving up the ghost and deciding it's time to make an early exit before the crush. Majority of the 37,000 crowd though staying to the end because this has been an eventful afternoon. And who knows what might happen now as Price crosses and Daly goes in. And that was very nearly a fourth, which really would have finished it off. Chris Price, who did well to chip this one over, and look at Daly, although not very well balanced, meets it with his left foot, and Lukic just able to turn the ball over the top. So the whistles for full time now coming from the Villa end. Platt happy to take it down into the corner flag, even to concede the free kick. And that is that. Celebrations over to our right on the pitch and down on the Villa bench too. Aston Villa, held to a draw at home on their return to the First Division last week, have won away from home at the first attempt. Alan Evans happy to surrender his wristbands to those supporters, and this man Alan McInally has enjoyed himself too this afternoon. 2 goals to put Villa in front before Arsenal came back bravely and excitingly with goals by Marwood and Smith. But Andy Gray's marvellous free kick, the final word and the final goal, leaving it Arsenal 2, Villa 3.